It's June. You wouldn't think there's a ton going on in terms of news and notes with the world of Notre Dame football. If you thought that, you'd be wrong, because we have Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold beat writer, who has been in interviews with Marcus Freeman, Al Golden, and Mike Denbrock, and he's going to bring you the latest from those guys in this video. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our channel, and go to blueandgold.com for much more information. Tyler, now I know for the Freeman interview, it was you and a few other reporters locally in South Bend got to talk to him. Let's just hit the news and notes, injuries, other things. I know I'm just kind of giving you the floor to talk about whatever. You could probably break something down for 20 minutes straight, but the biggest things were what, Tyler?
Well, you already talked to Mike Goolsby about the Tyler Buchner thing, so I don't think I need to go too into depth about that. But yeah, Tyler Buchner, former Notre Dame quarterback, former Alabama quarterback, current Notre Dame lacrosse player, is coming back to the Notre Dame football team as a walk-on wide receiver. Some other personnel notes: Benjamin Morrison, his timeline for coming back from that shoulder injury, Mike, is a little bit up in the air. You could kind of, when you're in these interviews, and Marcus Freeman, to his credit, he was very real in this one. And he told us at the onset of it that he didn't want it to feel like a press conference. It was more of like a sit down roundtable where about 12 of us media members were kind of, sitting literally in a circle. And he was at the head of that table. When we asked him about Benjamin Morrison, you could kind of see it in his face. And he said, yeah, I'm not sure about that timeline. He might not be ready for the Texas A&M game on August 31st. He for sure probably will not be ready for fall camp as a full participant. It's going to be one of those deals where they ease him along in that month of August, and they're just going to have to see where he's at on August 31st. So if Morrison's not playing in College Station, I would not be shocked, to be completely honest. Now, I would be shocked if Mitchell Evans was not playing in College Station, because it sounds like he is really on the fast track. We actually got to talk to Evans this week as well. Me and my colleague Jack Sobel, and I mean, he sounds chipper, optimistic. This is a guy that tore his ACL, and I think that was the last week of October. Mike, don't correct me if I'm wrong. It was late October when he tore that ACL. So we've seen guys in that timeline not make it back for the next season. I think of Eli Raridan a couple of years ago when he tore his ACL for the second time in as many years. So they were probably being a little cautious there, but I mean, he wasn't a full go for the next season like right away. So the fact that Mitchell Evans, it sounds like he will be, he told us as much. Marcus Freeman told us as much. I think that's going to be huge for the Notre Dame passing offense. Sticking with the offense, with the news that Jabron Payne is likely out for the season, but then Marcus Freeman told us in that little get together that, maybe he will play at some point this year. The reality is, at the beginning of the year, that room is going to be thin. So Devin Ford is moving back to the running back position to give Notre Dame those 5 guys that they like there. It's Ford, the 2 freshmen, and then, of course, you have Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love. So that's really the personnel notes. And I guess another big one would be that Gabe Rubio, there's a lot of speculation about his status with the team. Marcus Freeman is very confident that he's coming back. Actually, I just talked to Al Golden within the last 2 hours of us filming this video on Thursday afternoon, and Golden mentioned Gabe Rubio and said, yeah, he's going to be coming back into the fold. So a lot that I just threw at you guys there, but those are kind of the big ones that I think everyone was wondering about.
Yeah, nice boost for Notre Dame's defensive line with Rubio coming back after missing spring ball. Tyler, can I get a quick 30 seconds from you? A true 30 seconds and not a Tim Hyde 30 seconds. Your take on the Tyler Buchner news, and anything else you can share on that?
Yeah, basically, I will just kind of, because I was in the room with Freeman, give you what it felt like he was telling us, in that if you can add a guy who's been a starting quarterback at Notre Dame, he played at Ohio State, he was the MVP of a bowl game against an SEC team, and then a quarterback at Alabama, and he started a game for the Crimson Tide. Nick Saban, in the last year of his great tenure, trusted Tyler Buchner to start a game. Now, you could talk about what happened in that game. The statistics weren't great. Alabama, I think, was hanging on by a thread. The fact is, this guy's been all over. He's a veteran by this point, and you can add him to your roster as basically a scout team wide receiver, and maybe even a scout team quarterback in some instances. Who knows how Notre Dame is going to use him, but he's in the room. He's a great locker room guy, it sounds like. And to Marcus Freeman, it was a no-brainer. So I trust Marcus Freeman's decision making on this one.
That Alabama game was against
Yeah,
my alma mater.
you know who that was.
I do want to plug real quick our blue and gold football preview. You guys really need to go to bluegoldonline.com. If you have not done this yet, you're going to want to do this. It says right here, click here to save on pre-orders. Now, these offers end June 7th. So you have Thursday and you have Friday. So if you're a magazine subscriber already, if you're a blueandgold.com member, if you're neither, you can save as well with free shipping. So you have all these different options. But Tyler, I know, has been working endlessly on this with Jack Sobel. Earlier today, I just sent in my last article for this magazine as well. So 160-page, full-color, glossy magazine that includes so much. You guys see it on the screen, all the different things that it includes. So go to bluegoldonline.com. I'm going to make a quick little banner here so that if you're just a visual person, you know this as well. There you go. It is bluegoldonline.com. That is our magazine's website. So for that, you're going to have a ton from the Freeman interview. And then also you had exclusives with Al Golden and Mike Denbrock, Notre Dame's two coordinators. Can you kind of just give us a brief rundown of what people are going to find in the magazine from those exclusive interviews?
Yeah, let's start with the Denbrock one. Going chronologically here, we talked to him at the beginning of the week, and I was just kind of fascinated with what he thinks Notre Dame's identity is. And I kind of left the question open-ended to him. I said, do you believe in offensive identities, or is it game by game, week by week, game plan by game plan? And he said, no, there are some principles that you just cannot shy away from. And I actually, it was so good that it's exclusive, or it's behind the paywall on our website right now. Some of the stuff that you're going to see in that magazine, I thought it was too good and I couldn't hold on to it. He's got this mantra. It's called Gold and Gritty. I'm looking at my article from today right now. The gold, he says, is that shiny helmet that you get to wear every Saturday. It's being able to play at a place like Notre Dame Stadium that not everybody gets to on Saturdays. And the gritty, he's got an acronym for grit. It's grateful, resilient, intense, and together. And I go into, he explains, what that means to him. But I told him that, like, I listened to a podcast that literally does a grit week. It's a Barstool podcast, pardon my take. A lot of people probably know it. So it's not, a conflict of interest here. It's something I listen to when I walk my dog, and they literally do a grit week, Mike. And I told him, I was like, if you gave these answers that we're giving to you at blueandgold.com and then in that Blue and Gold preview magazine, they might love you forever if you were on that podcast. This would probably be the greatest answer that they've ever gotten when they ask, what does grit mean to you? So very impressed by Mike Denbrock. And then today, obviously, I was very impressed by Al Golden as well. And, I think there's, for as much stability and as good as the Notre Dame defense was last year, I think there's some questions when you lose two linebackers that were drafted in the NFL and, obviously a cornerback that was drafted in the NFL as well. A lot of leaders. How can you carry over 1 year to the next is basically my gist with Al Golden and what you're going to read in that magazine. And I thought he gave tremendous answers into the insights of, hey, yeah, we were the number 5 total defense in the country last year, but that means nothing for 2024. Here's what 2024 means. And he went into the personnel, the schemes, like how he's going to coach up this defense to be as good as it was last year. Very intelligent guy. So is Mike Denbrock. And that just goes back to the larger point of this offseason, right, Mike? When we talk about how important it was for Marcus Freeman to dial in on a couple of coordinators. One, keeping Al Golden, because you didn't know if he could go back to the NFL or whatever. And then 2, bringing back Mike Denbrock. Very, very optimistic I would be if I was a Notre Dame fan in reading those articles and just kind of hearing what they had to tell us this week.
Again, folks, bluegoldonline.com. I wanted this video to be informative, but also a plug for our Notre Dame football preview. You got to do this by Friday, June 7th, folks. I mean, I guess you have all Friday as well, but 3 ways to save. If you're a magazine subscriber, blueandgold.com subscriber, and that's our website, of course, blueandgold.com. If you're a YouTube subscriber, sorry, that does not count. But even if you're not one of those 2 subscribers, you have free shipping if you pre-order. That offer ends June 7th, so please consider doing that. Hit the thumbs up on this video, Tyler.
Yeah, I feel like sketch right now. You know,
What's that, brother?
I got one more thing to say.
Okay.
You guys just saw Riley Leonard on the cover there when Mike was showing you what you guys are getting into if you purchase that. We had a 20-minute one-on-one with Riley Leonard, and I think it was one of the best one-on-one interviews I've ever had with a player. Like, who knows how his on-field tenure at Notre Dame, the 1 year, is going to play out. This guy is so impressive off the field that he is worth being on the cover. It's going to be worth reading the article that I put out from that. And that's the last thing that I have to do, Mike.
Yeah.
When I get off the call with you right now, hopefully between now and the time that the Mavericks game tips off at 8:30 on Thursday, I will be mostly done with the Riley Leonard story, and I get it finished off tomorrow. But he is a very impressive guy.
And that title, high stakes, I coined that, and I love it because I think it's a high stakes season for Marcus Freeman going into year 3. I know he talked about that in his little mini presser as well. Okay, we're going to end it there, folks. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel, blueandgold.com, bluegoldonline.com. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next time.